In this video, I will be competing against another Photoshop artist. We are given the same stock images and are totally free to turn it into whatever we want using Photoshop. Who will be making the coolest artwork? Welcome to this brand new episode of Edit Race.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this very first episode of Edit Race Season 2. To start off this season, I'm very excited to introduce you to today's competition, Julius from VisualsofJulius. If you're into this stuff, there's a big chance you've seen this editor and photographer on Instagram already. Julius creates stunning and most of all realistic photos and edits mainly based on nature. He takes a lot of shots himself but also has experience with compositing. I made sure to reach out and get this man to compete in this show and well, here we are. At the end of this video, we'll also include our initial reactions to what we both made, so make sure to watch till the end. Now, let's take a look at the stock images we're using today. Julius and I both found some photos from Envato Elements. They're the sponsor of this series, and since in my opinion they have some of the best and cheapest stock assets, we didn't need anything else. I'll tell you more about Envato Elements later. First, Julius sent me his photos, and based on those, I added a few more to complete the collection. These are the photos we have to use. We can't add any, and we can't leave a single one out. That said, let's have a look at the rules of this edit race. First of all, as I just said, we have to use every single image from this selection. We can't add any images to this set, including overlays. We are allowed to use our own brushes. The artwork's ratio must be 4:5 with a resolution free of choice. And finally, we can only use Photoshop and Lightroom or Camera Raw. With all these things in mind, let's not waste any more of your precious time and get this train going. Just a second. Don't you need Envato Elements? As you know, this series was sponsored by Envato Elements, and you know what? Here's 5 reasons why I personally think you need Envato Elements. Number 1. There's literally millions of items in their library, plus the 50 million stock photos that come with it on 2020. Number 2. Tired of searching for stock photos for hours? No more, because Envato Elements has everything you need. Number 3. There's not only stock photos, no. There's also 3D objects which allow you to choose your own angle. There's Photoshop add-ons like actions, presets and brushes. There's also fonts, and even for video editors, graphic designers and web designers there is tons of stuff. Number 4. All items on Envato Elements have the same simple license terms. You get broad commercial rights so you can use items with confidence on work and personal projects. Number 5. I'm just gonna say it, Envato Elements is only $16 a month with an annual subscription. Try comparing that to other stock websites where you pay that for just one photo. If you're still not convinced, then I don't know either. Use the top link in the description to get yourself a subscription today. Back to the edit race.
Hi there everyone, and thank you Benny so much for having me in this episode of the Edit Race. I personally think this concept is fantastic. I enjoyed all the past episodes and I was really happy to be able to create something for this particular episode. So I have opened both of our images here in Photoshop and I just want to do a quick comparison between the two different images and also point out a few things in general. So let's start out with the question, which one do I like more? And I have to say I like Benny's version more, just purely because there's this nice contrast between the calm foreground with the epicness happening on the background, while mine is more so just realistic and calm. And here we can immediately see the differences between mine and Benny's work. I usually tend to go a bit more for the realistic side, while Benny always adds something a bit more epic and a bit more fantasy based to his work. Neither one of these styles are better from each other, it's just a personal preference for anyone, which one do you like more. I also have to say that Benny's highlighting and shadowing game is just on a whole another level. He's really good at doing that and you can see it from every single image that he ever creates. It's just fantastic how he does that. I also like how Benny kept the original shape of the tree. I think the girl and the swing matches a bit better on the U-shaped part of the branch, while I just went full puppet bar mode on my tree and just straightened out the branch and tried to fit the girl elsewhere. I just felt that when there was a curve in my image, the girl didn't fit there as well composition wise, so I just straightened the branch and that fixed my problem. And what comes to the lanterns, I don't personally think they fit that well into neither one of our images. It's just really hard to make lanterns look good against a sunset, especially because it's a bit of a guess game always how the lighting is going to be. Since the sunset is so strong, I personally don't have that much of a clue how it will look, so I just create a little bit of highlight source in there and try to make it somewhat realistic. And what comes to color grading, here I have to say that I prefer the colors I created a bit more. This is purely based on personal preference. I'm not a huge fan of the teal and orange type of look, mainly because it doesn't look as realistic, and I just love realism in the work that I create a lot, especially when it comes to colors as well. So yeah, I'll enjoy that bluish or red type of color a bit more than the teal and orange vibe, but again, they're both good in their own ways. And the last thing I'm going to point out is about the birds. I personally am not a huge fan of birds in my own work, so I usually try to leave them out, but this is the edit race. We have to use every single image from the images that we picked, so I decided to put my birds further in the distance while Benny kept them close by, adding into that fantasy type of style. But that's pretty much everything that I have to say about these two images. Again, you the audience decides who wins. I don't really care, but I'm gonna lurk in the comments and just see what do you think about these two pieces. And before I talk too much, Benny, take the wheel back and continue with the rest of the video, and thank you for having me again.
Thank you, Julius. First of all, I want to thank you for putting all the effort and time into this thing. It is honestly amazing. I'm pretty sure you've said the most important things already. They're quite the same and yet so different. That makes it hard to compare because we just have very different styles. Julius, like he said, always goes for a more realistic approach, where I, well, indeed go more towards the fantasy and stylized look. And this just makes it very hard to compare because I myself am more of the fantasy stuff. That's also why I put it in my work. So therefore I would definitely choose mine. However, if I would be more interested in photography and just realistic images, I would definitely go towards his. About the tree though, I actually like that he changed it up because it just feels a bit more, you know, personalized. But at the end of the day, it is just preference. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Julius literally said everything I wanted to say. Bloody hell. And there you have it. If you have a favorite, make sure to visit the community tab and vote for your favorite edit. Also, leave a comment on who I should challenge for the next episode of Edit Race, and then I think that's pretty much it for today. Don't forget to check out Envato Elements though for a huge library of digital creation assets, and of course, follow Julius on Instagram and YouTube. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment, and if you enjoy my overall content, feel very free to subscribe, and most importantly, hit the bell to stay notified about future videos at all times. Then I hope I'll see you in my next video.